Welcome to Foundation Repair Marketing Secrets, the podcast that's rocking the foundation repair industry. Discover how to boost your leads, raise your profits, and lift your digital presence. Together, let's dig deep and transform your foundation repair business.
Alrighty, guys. Hope you're all having a great day. We have an awesome guest today in Bob out of California. He is a money wizard, a reverse factoring wizard, and we are so happy to have you on the podcast. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Jaden.
I could have given a more grand intro, but I thought that was nice and concise, while also giving the respect to your infinite wisdom that we've talked in our pre-interview.
Thank you so much. I am my day job is I practice law. I'm in my 56th year practicing law, but also in the past 25 years, I've become a lender as well as a lawyer. In my law practice, I represent lenders exclusively, but not just lenders. I represent lenders in the middle market. I only like entrepreneurs. I'm most comfortable with entrepreneurs. I don't like big anything. It's boring to me. I hate big law firms. I don't like big banks. I don't like big anything. I like dealing with humans. I like people who are earning their own money. It's just how I'm most comfortable. So that's my world, the world of lending to small and medium-sized business. And I'll say I sell myself short. I don't just help people in making loans. I help people in getting it back. As I learned a long time ago, you don't have to be very smart to persuade a total stranger to take your money. That's kind of an easy sell. Getting it back, you got to be a little more persuasive. So I do both. And along the way, my clientele, the industry that I truly love is factoring and asset-based lending, because factoring, there are about 500 or 600, maybe more factors in the United States, and overwhelming majority are small and medium-sized businesses themselves. So I represent medium-sized businesses lending to medium-sized businesses, which means all I talk to are real people, and nothing could make me happier than that. So I understand the needs of borrowers. I understand the needs of my lender clientele. And that is why I'm happy to be on the show such as this, because I get a chance to talk to my people.
Yeah, these are good people too.
These are real people who borrow from real people. Couldn't be better than that. It's a good day at work when I get to do that.
Absolutely. Yeah, so the foundation waterproofing businesses are right in your wheelhouse, right? Construction based. They do deal with residential. They also deal with private property owners, property management, etc. So in one example, water's coming through a basement and it's leaking everywhere. It's horrible for anyone who's occupying that property. Then another instance, the properties are kind of sinking, going into the ground, and they need to at least be held in place, or maybe they could be lifted a little bit if possible. So can you just give our audience there with that mindset? They have money here, there, and everywhere. How is your solution with SkySense so special and powerful for them?
Well, one of the characteristics of the construction industry in general, and waterproofing and remedial work specifically, is the nature of the cash flow is more intense than in many other industries. Why do I say that? Because your industry has a huge labor component. And the thing about buying labor is you don't get to buy on net 30.
No.
You pay workers on Friday, or you're dark Monday morning. So that's a clock that you have no vote in. You can't say, I need another 10 days, cut me some slack. Doesn't happen that way. So therefore, you need the cash. A big expense is on a cash basis. As soon as you incur the expense, you got to pay it. However, the people you work for are buying your services on time. They're
Mm,
paying 30 or 45 days. And even if you say, no, we sell on net 20-day terms. Well, who cares what terms you sell for? It
mm,
only matters what terms they pay. You could
mm.
sell on net 45 minutes. Have at it. You're going to get paid in 45 days anyway. You might as well say terms on net 45 minutes because nobody really cares what your selling terms are. So the point being, you don't get a choice in how fast you pay, and you don't get a choice on how fast you get paid. And therein is the disconnect. So you better somehow get the money every Friday to pay your workers, or you go dark. So how do you do that? Well, you buy on you sell on net 30, net 45, maybe longer. If you're waiting for insurance recoveries and maybe you have to wait until the insurance company pays, now it's net 45 years, which is not very good payment terms. So here you are, you're in the squeeze. You got to pay your expenses every Friday, but you don't get paid every Friday. So what do you do? Well, right now, what you do is either you use your own money to fill the gap, to absorb the difference. Sorry, that's my Ring doorbell. A FedEx guy. I work from home, as you can tell. I'm not getting any more deliveries, so don't worry. So you got, so you need the money faster than you're getting paid by your customers. So what do? You will borrow from a bank, which means now you're borrowing, paying interest, and you're personally guaranteeing the debt. So now you owe a bunch of money. Well, maybe you're borrowing on the collateral of your accounts receivable, a very common program, or you're factoring a similar product, and you're using your accounts receivable, which are not cash. You're borrowing against those accounts receivable to get the cash to pay your workers on Friday. You have no choice.
Mm,
You can't tell your worker, I'm going to pay you by giving you a piece of my receivables. No, you got to give the workers cash. So, how do you convert AR into cash? Well, you factor or finance or do whatever you have to do to get the cash to pay your bills. Okay,
amazing.
that's the world right now. And you incur interest expense because you want to get paid faster than your customers will pay you, and you build that interest cost into your selling price because you don't work for free. So ultimately, no one in a business, you don't pay any expenses. You merely pass them through, or else you go out of business.
Mm,
So interest expense is part of how you determine the cost of your product. So in reality, you're paying interest because your customers pay slow, but in reality, your customers are paying the interest because you build it into the price. Unless you don't know what you're doing, in which case you're not going to be long on this
yeah,
podcast. You're going to be out of business. So we won't be talking to you much in the future because
right.
you didn't know to build that cost into your price. But I know you do because you're a survivor. Okay, that's the world. So what have I come to realize, I and a few other people, that there is a need for a product that hadn't didn't really exist in the world, but now it does. And what we do, the product is called reverse factoring. It's sometimes called supply chain. If you're one of the cool kids, you use supply chain because then you get to sit at the grown-ups table because you knew to use supply chain. But it's the same concept, and it's remarkably simple, and it changes your life. What does it do? Reverse factoring goes to your customer, your uh, remediation, your waterproofing customer. And we
Mm,
say, we have a product which your suppliers will love. Our product is we will pay your bills for you. And your customer says, well, that's pretty cool. That's very nice of you. Yeah, we said, look, it's not going to cost you anything. We're going to pay your bills fast. And all you have to do is continue to do what you're doing. Pay your bill on net 45 days, which is what the deal has always been. You're going to pay in 45 days, except now you're going to pay us. And what do we do now? Now we go to Chayton and we say, okay, Mr. Waterproofing contractor, we're now paying your supplier, your customers' bills. So please sign up. It takes about 5 minutes. Please sign up for the sole purpose of helping us pay you. My relationship with your audience, Chayton, is all we're going to do is pay them money. That's all we do.
Right.
And so you set up an account with us. All it means is tell us how to pay you. People are very good at telling me how to pay them. They like it. So that's all I want from you. I don't want anything from you. So now I set up an account. Now you give an invoice to your customer who is now signed up with us. And remember, we're invisible to your customer. We don't cost them anything. And all they do is the same they're always doing. It's pay their bills. And we open up an account. Now, you give an invoice to your customer, just like always. Net 45 days. And your customer is told, and you can submit it through the platform, your customer is told the invoice has been submitted. And please approve it. And we'll remind the customer, please approve it. Once the customer approves it, which only takes a mouse click, so a third of a second, they approve the invoice. You are told that invoice for $25,000 to your customer, net 45 days, just got approved. Help yourself to the money. Take as much as you want of the $25,000. Take it whenever you want, in whatever frequency you want. It doesn't matter. You go online through the link. You don't have to log it anywhere. It's a link on your accounting software. And you say, I want $10,500. And it will tell you in 1 second, okay, it's now day 3 of this net 45-day invoice. And so you're getting paid 42 days early. And you're getting paid $10,000. It computes the prepayment fee based upon 42 days, $10,000 at the agreed interest rate. And you will know exactly what the interest rate is. It's right there. It's not a secret rate. You'll know. It'll tell you if we prepay you right now, it's going to cost you $119.32. And you click OK. The next morning, the money is in your account. Now, that sounds like lending and borrowing, but it's not, because it's your money. You're not borrowing any money. You're getting your money earlier. And if you can imagine you being Mr. Waterproofing Company, if you can imagine all of your customers were using the platform. That would mean you never have to borrow money. It's like all of your customers are paying you whenever you want them to pay you. So what does it mean? For the first time since you applied for a business license, you don't owe anybody any money.
Yeah, it's freedom.
And never will again, which means no personal guarantee, which means no UCC filing on your assets, which means no past due notices, no begging for money. You will never owe money again. And what we have done, we have converted the net 45-day type term, a payment term. We have taken that out of the marketplace, and we are a shock absorber. And the best way to explain it is the motto that I invented a long time ago is pay when you want, get paid when you want. So you, Mr. Waterproofing contractor, you get paid whatever the heck you want. Your customer pays whatever the heck they want. And we're in the middle absorbing the disparity between the two. So
Right.
I say we make small businesses debt-free. It's not hyperbole. That's what we do. And sure, if only one of your customers is using the system, then we have not made you debt-free, but we've reduced the amount of money you owe, reduced your dependency upon debt, because now you can, as the saying goes, get paid when you want. And the goal is to get the entire middle market out of debt.
That's super cool. Yeah, and that kind of weird friction area that people have, you guys take on the friction of sorts. Like you get what you want, right? We want the money, we did our work, what have you. You can get your money, as you said, pretty painlessly. And it's just by them propelling to the people that they're supposed to get paid by to get set up on your platform, and then for our audience to get set up on your platform. And it kind of feeds itself, I would say.
It's always easy. The suppliers know it's, I don't have to sell I don't have to sell your audience. Remember, all I'm doing is paying them money. If they don't want me to pay them, let them tell me to get lost. No one's ever told me to get lost. When I said, all I want to do is pay you. Please return my phone call. I just want to pay you. No one ever blocks my number.
No, I believe that. So on the waterproofing foundation company end, they're kind of letting the people that are supposed to pay them know about your whole business, your operation.
You have to sign up your customer first. We sign up your customer, and your customer brings along all of its suppliers, or as many as they want. And it sort of operates a bit like a credit card. So you, if you're a consumer, you have a credit card, and then when you go to a store, you're buying for cash, you're paying the merchant, and because the merchant wants cash, so it's either cash or credit card. So you pay with a credit card. You have the luxury of paying in 30 days. The merchant then gets the money from the credit card company immediately, albeit with. So it functions very much like a credit card, where one party pays cash, the other party gets paid in 30 days or pays in 30 days. The same thing.
Right.
So if you think of a credit card, not a very complicated transaction, that's how this functions. Most importantly of all, small business is debt-free. Plus, you only take, if you're worried about interest expense, you're paying it now. Everyone in the audience is borrowing money. So it's not it'll probably reduce your interest cost if you're borrowing unwisely through a high interest rate program. Then it will reduce your interest expense because we're not that expensive. We have to make a profit, but it's a market rate. On the other hand, if you're borrowing money from a bank, well, then a bank will lend you 80% or 85% of your receivables, and they'll hold back 15% like a security deposit. But with our program, we don't hold back anything. It's your money. You get 100% less the fee. So there's no reserve. There's no past due receivables. You can't borrow against it. Doesn't happen. You get all your money in seconds of getting the invoice approved if you want it, or you get as much of it. Now, if you don't take the money, then what happens? On the due date, If you haven't needed the money, we'll just send you the balance automatically.
Mm,
You just get the balance. That's it.
that's
It's that
amazing.
simple.
Yeah, you guys
Just-
make it easy.
And it's done through an add-in application on whatever accounting software you have. And if, and you have accounting software now. Quicken always offers you financial products. And as you know, it's an icon. It's just a little icon. It's an emoji sitting around somewhere. You click it and you get some money. It's that kind of a product. Most importantly, those products are loans. Our product, we don't lend you money. We're lending money to your to your customer, but that's our problem,
Mm,
not yours.
right. Yeah, it's beautiful. Well, awesome. Do you have any last few words? Obviously, we got to know where to find you, but any last few words for the wisdom of the foundation waterproofing companies listening?
Well, the only few words are that anybody managing a small business, I absolutely include myself, we can't be experts in everything, but you sort of have to be, or hire people who are. And in small and medium-sized business, it seems to be that people go into business because they have a skill, a marketing skill, a skill with their hands, mechanical skill, electrical skill, and there's a market, a demand for that skill. So people don't go into business because they're good with numbers.
Mm,
So therefore, if they also are good with numbers, that's like an unadvertised special in their brain. But it's not why they're in business. So you can't assume anybody who is in business automatically knows the best way to be a CFO, to manage the economics. So often that part of it is intimidating and it's mismanaged. And if you mismanage finances, you could be very good at what you do, but you're not going to make it. You're just not. You're going to run afoul. You're going to be behind in your taxes, behind in your payroll taxes, behind in your loan to a bank, behind in whatever. And you're going to go down in flames, even though you're good at what you do.
mm,
What we do is we take managing cash flow, which it's easy to do badly, and we take it out of the equation. If you're getting paid the second you do the work, there's nothing to manage. You have all the money.
mm,
Yeah, you don't have to think about it. You don't have to think about, am I paying too much interest? Am I encumbering my family's assets? Am I threatening my family because I'm personally liable on a guarantee? Those days are over. That's why I love the product, because I so much want entrepreneurs to make it. And I want to remove an intimidating part of running a business and take it out of the equation. So I'm Bob Zadek. The best way to reach me is at my company, which is Lenders Funding. It's R Zadek, Z as in zebra, A, D as in David, EK, R Zadek at Lenders Funding, one word, LENDERSFUNDING.com. You can call me at 415-699-2512, or but if you call me, my first question will be, is your email down? Because phone calls are really time consuming and I'm often on the phone. Much as I love to make contact with the outside world, of course, I work from home. I'm like a shut-in. They only let me out on weekends. So I welcome human interaction, but
mm.
phone calls it's fine. I'll always answer the phone. I have nobody clearing my calls, but emails work better. Zadek at lendersfunding.com.
Got it. Okay. And then SkySend's pretty easy
SkySend
too.
is the company that I work with that does reverse factoring. They specialize in construction. It's a really cool product, and it's, if you can believe it, not only is managing money no longer stressful, and relief that you're not owing anybody any money, it's so darn easy. It's a mouse click. So it's just a mouse click. That's all it is. It's like ordering Chipotle. It's just click. And click and you get your burrito, except now click and you get 10K.
Yeah, a little less protein, a whole lot more money. So
Protein is for losers.
money is where it's at. Yeah, the money
That's
allows
where
for
it's
the
at.
protein. So
Right.
let's just cut to the money.
That's right.
Awesome. All right, Bob, you've been great. Hopefully you guys out there in the foundation waterproofing world really got some good wisdom. Now you know how to get your money even quicker. And you could reach out to Bob, you could reach out to SkySend, just, do what you need to do so you can get paid. You guys are waiting way too often, way too long on your bills, and everyone else needs their bills to get paid overnight. So why don't you get your bills paid overnight? Thank you, Bob. Really, really appreciate you on the
Thanks a
podcast.
lot.
You did
Thanks for the
fantastic.
invitation.
Thank you, guys. Bye now.
So long.
Thanks for joining us today for another revealing episode of Foundation Repair Marketing Secrets. Don't forget to subscribe so you can keep discovering the tools, tactics, and techniques to ensure your online presence is as solid as the foundations you repair. Keep digging deep, and we'll see you in the next episode.